No, I never thought I'd get sick on the phone.
Is that what's going on?
Pretty well lit up.
You're gonna have a big picture.
Oh, well, wait.
Don't please rise. I'd like to ask Reverend Tyler Emsley, First Baptist Church, Cape Girardeau, come forward and give us our invitation. Tyler, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. As way of invocation, I just want to read the Beatitudes that start out Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Amen.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated.
I'll call to order this session of the Cape Girardeau City Council. This is our January 22nd, 2018 meeting. Thank you all for being here. Roll call, please.
Mr. Essner?
Here.
Dr. Fox?
Here.
Mr. Guard?
Here.
Mr. Gunn? He's absent. Ms. Moore? Here. Mayor Rediger?
Here.
Mr. Rizzoro?
Here.
Thank you. We need a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
So moved by Guard,
Second.
seconded by Moore. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Zach, we still missing one? Okay, we're good. Well, I'll be watching for him. Can't do it without, what do you call him? The old man? We'll move forward and come back to the recognition of the Huckstep family. Communications report, and I have one, and it was an exciting day Friday. I've been working on this project for most of 2017, but Friday we were able to announce officially our entry into, as a baseball team for Cape Girardeau, into the Prospect League with owner Andy Patel and his management team at this point of Jim Limbaugh and the general manager of Mark Hogan. It was particularly an honor for me as we had a lot of the legends of baseball from the past standing there with us. Had several council there also and staff at the Sportsplex on the turf. But Doc Yallady, Bill Bonert, Jess Bolin, who devoted so many, many years to baseball through American Legion, 50 years of Kappaha, the Kappaha Field Committee, the partnership now between the university and the city to do the turf and the scoreboard. It is alive, and more to come. We'll be starting and play in 19. These are BAT League that will have university players, freshmen, sophomores, and juniors that are wanting to hone their skills and particularly be seen by Major League Scouts. The league plays between the state of Missouri, clear back through Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. So this puts us kind of on the, really puts us on the national baseball stage. So it's an exciting time. It's an economic development tool too, because we'll have a lot of visitors and some major upgrades that are yet to come that will need to be done at Kappaha Field. So that was an exciting time. Other councils?
Yes, I would like to,
On your mic.
okay, thank you.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, I went to a meeting tonight at Jefferson School, and the school board announced a new educational learning approach, and the name of it is STREAM. It's science, technology, research, engineering, arts, and math. Calling it Rethinking Jefferson. So you should hear about it in there, but it was a real good meeting where they got their inspiration from purpose-built communities, the model that we have been presenting in Ward 2. So it was really good. It was exciting. It had a lot of input. So just be on notice and try to read more about it and get to know what this model and the approach would be. Thanks.
This is a very, very exciting development in our school system in Cape Girardeau. We're a great partner with the school district, always have been, and this will continue into the future. Having this announced at Jefferson is a major step for us. There's a lot to be done and a lot to be told, but this is another major announcement for the school district, for the city of Cape Girardeau, and for education of our young and our youth. So thank you for attending that. Other communications? Staff?
Yeah, I have a few. First of all, we've been talking PRS2 about the aquatic center, and we've had some questions about, well, how's that going to work? And so we've worked together with the school district and through our Parks and Recreation staff, and really have come up with a process that will take place should PRS2 pass, the process that we would use to figure out what type and where we would build the aquatic center. So I just wanted to go through it really quickly. $6 million in that proposal. The city and the school district have decided that they will look at a new location due to the age of Central Pool. Have not nailed down a location at this point, but I think Dr. Glass tonight said that he is very much thinking that the Jefferson restart and new complex would be the perfect place for, in their opinion, where that aquatic center might be located. Our current agreement with the school district calls for a committee. That's 3 appointed by the school superintendent, 3 appointed by the city manager to study and make a recommendation for any aquatic improvement that's greater than $100,000. And of course, this would qualify. And so that committee would be put together. And then it would be assisted by an aquatic consultant who would engage in a needs assessment and consider the location, design, construction, and operational costs, as well as what would be fiscally sustainable given the initial cost and operating costs. So we don't want to build something that's not fiscally sustainable in both aspects of initial build and operation. The school continues to be favorable toward both capital dollars and continuation of operational dollars. And our current agreement as a school, we have a 60-40 operating expense split. And that would continue, or we would modify it to be another split going forward. We anticipate that the committee would be activated shortly after a vote if PRS2 passes. And then the recommendation of the committee must be approved by both the school board and the city council before it can be implemented. So you can see that the process is pretty defined. The outcome is not defined because we don't know all the monies that would come to the table. And we don't know all the operational costs that would come to the table, as well as what operational incomes could be brought forth. But one thing we're very excited about is the fact that basically the same process worked with the indoor sports complex, and it's proving itself to be a very smart decision. And so using that process, we think there'll be a lot of confidence in that. Any questions, council? Comfortable with that process moving forward? Yes.
Very good.
We also had a meeting with NDI on the south side. NDI, we have 2 NDIs. One of them is Red Star, and then we have one on the south side. Had a good meeting with that. I know Councilman Moore and Councilman Estner were there. One of the things we talked about there was about purpose-built communities. Purpose-built communities, everybody keeps asking, well, when are we going to start? When are we going to start purpose-built communities? Well, the answer is we already have. We already have started. We've begun to use the model. And the outcomes of that are that we're going to have a bright lights program on the south side by spring. And we've already done one alley sweep on the south side and potential of another one maybe in the spring. We have 2 neighborhood parks that are proposed in the PRS2 proposal that'll be voted on. I just heard about education, and they're engaged, and they're looking at how they can reshape education to build up and to give south side children a better education. And that's exciting. We're looking at different programming at Shawnee. We've done some of that. We're looking at different ways to do that through the NDI. We've addressed some chronic nuisance properties. And then we did a process where we took a building and put an RFP for that. And that is now going to be redeveloped on the south side with the partnership with Dilly Traxel. Committee for the quarterback group. So that's things that are happening with Purpose Built that follow the model. And I've begun to think of it more of, we're going to follow the model. If they decide to adopt us as an official Purpose Built community, that's fine. But the more important things are the outcomes, that things are changing and getting better on our south side. So excited about that. They also, it's kind of an exciting thing on the South Cape Neighborhood Development Initiative. They're meeting next month on the 22nd of February. Is going to be focused on their teens and kids to come and get their ideas for the south side. I think they were inspired by the speaker at the MLK dinner who talked about when he was 12 years old and went to a King March and ended up in jail, changed his life. And so they inspired by that, they are having a kids and teens input night February 22nd. So I encourage people to be. And then my last thing is the Vision 2040 workshop. It'll be Thursday, January 25th. That's next. Is that this Thursday? That's this Thursday. This Thursday at 6:30 at the Osage Center. And looks like we're looking for ideas and prizes. And they got prizes and refreshments. So if I don't get you out, nothing will. That's all I got, Mayor.
Really excited about the progress that we made. The Purpose Built is a long-term, probably 10 to 15 year program. But, you know, we're over a year, just kind of trying to get, but now we've got some people in the neighborhood excited, Shelley.
Yes.
We've got the school district going now. We've got the line. But you said won't repeat everything, but exciting that we are actually making a difference. So it is definitely underway. Okay. Anyone here to appear before the council on any item that is on the agenda? That is on the agenda. Okay. Eric, if you'll take us through the consent agenda.
Bill number 18-01, an ordinance authorizing the issuance of a special tax bill for the property located at 130 South Frederick Street and for the demolition of a dangerous building under provisions of Chapter 7 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. An ordinance authorizing the issuance of a special tax bill for the property located at 130 South Frederick Street for the demolition of a dangerous building under the provisions of Chapter 7 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 18-03, an ordinance accepting a permanent utility easement from Derek and Carla Cornelius in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Ordinance accepting a permanent utility easement from Derek and Carla Cornelius in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 18-04, an ordinance authorizing city manager to execute a sign program participation agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for accomplishment signage in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Ordinance authorizing city manager to execute a sign program participation agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for accomplishment signage in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 18-05, an ordinance accepting permanent sanitary sewer easements from Norwald Inc. for Rock Garden subdivision lot number 18 and number 19 in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Ordinance accepting permanent sanitary sewer easements from Norwald Inc. for Rock Garden subdivision lot number 18 and number 19 in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Number 18-10, a resolution authorizing city manager to execute an escrow agreement with Brandon O. Williams Development LLC and First Missouri State Bank of Cape County for Williamsburg Phase 4 in the City of Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Council, you've heard the consent agenda. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Moved by Azura, seconded by Fox. Discussion?
Mayor, I need to abstain from 18-10 and number 8.
Number 6 and number 8 would be an abstention from Councilman Guard. Any other discussion? Seeing none, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? I think I just saw him roll in. I'd like to have the Huckstep family, everyone here, come and join me up here on the corner. And Chief, the rest of the fire team for a presentation.
If you don't mind, we'll set you guys up at the end right here, and we'll have 3 car guys behind you. Zach, Gordon, if you don't mind, just right here. Gordon, I'm gonna have you up here in the middle. And then your daughters, okay? Let's help this while I'm here. You and Chief, you want to just let the mayor down here real quick?
No, we can't get them on TV.
Oh.
Mark, on TV. When you all face that way, we can't get you.
Mark? Can't get you on TV when you're facing that way.
It's really
There you go.
and we'll get together. Well, you can do the picture, can't you?
Yeah, we're flexible. Just roll it in.
Really an honor and a privilege for me this evening to make this presentation. I came to town in 1976, 42 years ago. And one of the first things I heard, but early on, I heard that a local body shop owner did extrications from traffic accidents. You gotta be kidding. I didn't know Gene Huckstep at that time. I met Gene Huckstep, became friends with Gene Huckstep, served on boards with Gene Huckstep, got to know his family. I've quickly learned through the years that not only was he doing that service for the community and for humanity, but he was doing it because he loved his city of Cape Girardeau and he loved people. And he portrayed that through, and it radiated through all his family. And it's been that ever since. And I truly cherish the friendship that I was able to muster with the Huckstep family. The only thing I don't like about going to see the Huckstep family is usually at the shop, and I just needed to get there. But indeed, a real pleasure and honor to do this, and I'm going to read, I got a script, and I'm going to read it. With great pleasure, we present this plaque to the family of Gene Huckstep, former presiding county commissioner. His dedication to the citizens of Cape Girardeau County was demonstrated by providing the first rescue extrication service in the area beginning in the 1960s. During his 22 years, and provide 22 years in providing this service, he personally answered nearly 2,000 calls for people entrapped in car wrecks, farm accidents, and industrial mishaps. Gene Huckstep was once referred to by a former Cape Girardeau fire chief as the father of heavy rescue in Cape Girardeau County. He continued to provide this service until 1986. Excuse me, when he assisted in arranging an agreement with the city of Cape Girardeau, city of Jackson, Cape Girardeau County, which the city of Cape Girardeau Fire Department would provide these services throughout the county. In the same year, Mr. Huckstep also provided leadership in obtaining and equipping the city's first rescue truck, a converted bunny bread truck. Okay? This rescue truck provided countywide service for 10 years. In 1994, Gene Huckstep again began to assist efforts to replace the city's original rescue truck with a larger fire rescue pumper that was specifically designed for this dual purpose and was capable of carrying additional modernized rescue tools and equipment. This new truck, which became known as Rescue 4, was dedicated and placed into service on March 19, 1996. This is the original plaque that adorned the side of Rescue 4 while it responded to thousands of rescue calls throughout the county until retired this past year. The plaque recognized Gene Huckstep for his many years of dedicated heavy rescue and extrication services to the citizens of Cape Girardeau City and County. On behalf of the citizens of Cape Girardeau City and County, we wanted to give this plaque to the family of Gene Huckstep, once again honoring a man whose leadership, vision, and selfless service planted the seeds from which today's multi-jurisdictional rescue capabilities have grown. We're going to present this to Gordon and to the family. And those of you that came in noticed that we have the new equipment, Rescue 1, Rescue 4, outside that you can kind of touch and feel as you leave. I think some of you already done that. We were waiting for the guy that was late. But Gordon, to you, Zach, the whole family, Sherry, and the whole family, what an honor to be able to present this. And thank you, your father, grandfather, for all of his services, and the Huckstep family for what they mean to us. Thank the official.
Can we do one group photo before you guys disassemble? Could the back row please step up on this stuff? Sure. Then you want to step back and orient towards the table, lady, please. Big smile, cross feet here. I can see, you can't see the camera, I can see you. Thank you.
Gordon, anything to say? I'll let you see. Sherry, go ahead.
Okay, this is Jean's mouth.
So I gotta be careful what I say.
I gotta give you a hug.
So all of us kids grew up, I was telling some firefighters, we had a scanner running in our house 24/7. We just thought that's the way it should be. And so we always grew up with Dad and Gordon taking off in the middle of the night and never knowing when they were gonna come home. And we also grew up watching slides of these cutouts, we call them cutouts, not extrication. Over the years as we were growing up, and that just was what we did as a family. And we still, to this day, after we have it put on video, we still look at that stuff. And look how young Gordon looked and all that. So I'm not shy and I speak for all of us. Yes, we're all in medical school. So anyway, we really appreciate this honor. This means very much to us. And I'm sure Dad is up in heaven, he's smiling down. He appreciates it too. Thank you so much.
Yes, very good. Congratulations again. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I couldn't see you.
There's a dedication of great citizenship. Dedication to our citizens. Generation to generation. Great citizens. In our area. One of the reasons we all are still living. So we got through consent. Yes. New ordinances, number 9, bill number 18-07, an ordinance approving the record plat of Yance subdivision, first reading.
So moved.
Pardon? Second that. Second by Jesse. Any discussion? Those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Number 10, 1808, an ordinance approving the record plat of crossing at Hopper Road, first reading.
So moved.
By Art. Second. And second by Fox. Any discussion? Those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Number 11, bill number 18-09, an ordinance approving the record plat of Fuller subdivision.
So moved.
Art.
Second.
Second by Moore. Any discussion? Favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Appointment to the Board of Adjustment. And that would be a reappointment of Charles Cowell. If I could have a motion. Moved. Moved by Chester.
Second.
And seconded by Moore. Any discussion? Favor, aye. Aye. Those opposed? And the Tree Board. And these are reappointments of Laura Flipple and Jennifer Bacon. That's at the study session. I have moved by Fox.
Second.
And second by Dart. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Any other business come before us?
Make a motion to adjourn.
By Dart. Seconded by Moore. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned.